I got my first deer and I'm just freaking out.
What are we gonna do now, Taylor?
Walk up to it slowly.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Don't rush, don't rush. It's like bringing a kid to the blind.
My job as a father, a man's job as a father, I think that to me, it's about watching over your kids, obviously making sure they're safe, but letting them experience life as it comes at them. And a lot of times that's hard. I just take the examples off of my dad. He let us sit back and experience life and make mistakes, but at the same time gave us guidance on what the core should be. And the core was values. You know, values as a person, as a human being, God-based values, and I will never be shy to say that. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for this wonderful gift and these wonderful friends. So you might ask yourself, you know, what does taking your kids out hunting teach them about being more respectful or, you know, more responsible? I think it's everything, especially conservation. If you're keeping an eye on responsible game management and even things like forest management and how you treat the land, you know, that goes back to Aldo Leopold, the land ethic. The land ethic is how you're at one with the land and how you treat the land is going to come around in how you treat others and how you handle yourself in society. That might sound a little deep, but I think it's 100% true. I think when you're out there, a responsible father, you're thinking outside of that outcome. I know that sounds like very repetitious, but you are. Yes, you're out there to have fun and enjoy it and shoot a deer and hopefully take one home, but you're also basically teaching your son or daughter how they should react, how they should hold themselves as an individual. I think it's very powerful.
And that's the way you do it.
And that's the way you do it?
Yeah.
Deer and Deer Hunting TV is brought to you by
Mom and Dad, I'm talking to you. I know you've spent a lot of money on that John Deere tractor. Food plot seeds, fertilizing, leasing the land and purchasing a hunting property. It all adds up. But if you've got kids, people you're mentoring, young hunters, old hunters, that you're trying to get into the sport, just calm down and let them shoot a deer.
Well, it's November 24th, 2021, and we're back in the blind. We sat here last night, my daughter Laura and I, and Laura's doing the hunting. I'm doing the video work, so we'll see how that works out. But last night we saw a couple deer, but no bucks. This morning we actually saw a nice 8-pointer, but whatever makes my daughter happy, it's almost her birthday, so we'll see how it works out. Make sure it's right at the Congratulations, Laura. You didn't go very far. You made a nice shot on him.
Couldn't have done it without you.
I used to do a lot of seminars and I'd get this question a lot, how can I bring my children into hunting? How can I foster my love of hunting to them? And the best advice I can give you is just let them experience the outdoors world, not necessarily the hunting. I think what happens today especially is we get caught up on the result and we try to control the result. When you let go of that desire to control the outcome is when I think it really takes hold in a child. You would not believe that sometimes, especially in the case of a young boy or a young girl, what you thought would never become a hunter, later in life they come back to that because they really appreciate the intrinsic value of the outdoors that you gave to them.
Good job, Cole. That's a typical Oklahoma, Texas-style looking buck. Yeah, I know, QDMA is great, quality deer management, and it should be a major part of what you're doing on your property. But at the same time, if you're trying to excite a newcomer to the sport of whitetail hunting, you've got to let them shoot something. You got to let them eat that. You got to let them enjoy what you're reaping on that land. It does no good to just hold out for 160, 70-inch, 5 or 6 year old deer that they're not going to get a chance to shoot, but yet they could shoot a doe, a 2.5-year-old deer, and you have hooked a new hunter for life.
Little bucks must have winded him, and he didn't get
QDM or antler restrictions, that's all out the window. Also, the success should be out the window. Because you go out there and you're probably, if you're a seasoned hunter, you're thinking like, we have to be quiet, don't talk. You have a kid with you. That kid is gonna be antsy. They're gonna have a very low threshold for sitting still. There's all sorts of things. You have to really rein yourself down. Don't worry about it if they're moving around. Don't worry about it if they're making all sorts of noise. You might get out there, be out there for 5 minutes knowing like, we're probably not gonna see a deer today. Doesn't matter. It's about sitting there in the moment and watching them have fun and letting them have fun.
What's the story?
I shot 3 times and missed 2 of them, and maybe the 3rd. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, this is something different. I know you're probably not used to seeing this on TV, and I'm not making no apologies.
You're watching Deer and Deer Hunting TV, where the deer are always the stars of the show.
Okay, this is something different. I know you're probably not used to seeing this on TV, and I'm not making no apologies. I, for a long time, have always wanted to bring things back to my center core as a deer hunter, and you feel, that's what I mean about shooting any buck, any legal buck. When I was little, when I was young, when you were young, that sight of that first deer, no matter how big it was, if it was a buck, if it was a doe, it got you excited. And that's with me today. No matter what deer I shoot or what deer I see, I always get excited. But everybody said, yeah, put your money where your mouth is. This wasn't to do that. This was for me to bring myself inner peace again, because after watching my dad here last week, 87 years old, with as much excitement in his eyes, shoot an antlerless deer, I wanted to bring that back to myself, and I wanted to share it with you. So I shot a deer this morning. We're gonna go find him. I heard him crash back here in the woods, and let the celebration begin. Okay, I know he went right through here. And there. There he is. That's what I expected. That is that same buck. I'm calling him a 4-pointer. That's the same buck we saw the other day that I was like, oh no, I can't shoot that deer. And when I got home, I said, you know what? When I was a little kid, I would have came out of my skin to shoot a buck like this. And you know what? I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to be thankful to the Lord. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for this wonderful experience and this wonderful deer. May I always remember this day. Amen. How do you like that? I'm calling, whoa, no, he's got another one there. I'm calling him a 5-pointer. Look at this. 1, 2. I'm counting that. 3, 4, 5. I get a picture for my dad.
You have one unheard message.
Nice going, Danny. It's a spike for Danny boy this time. A nice looking deer. Yeah, that's a good eater. You don't have to call me back. I got a beautiful picture of it. And I'll talk to you.
You know, I know that voicemail is a little bit hard to hear. It's a little bit jumbled from a cell phone. But little did I know at that time that was going to be one of the last times I got to tell my dad about a deer that I got. And I will be replaying that every single season. You know, a lot of kids don't have a dad to take them hunting. Don't waste your opportunity. Hey everybody, if you're like me, you really want to take your bow hunting to a next level, you have to shoot premium equipment. For me, it begins and ends with the arrow. The arrow is everything, and if the arrow isn't straight, your accuracy isn't going to be all that great. This arrow is the new 6.5 match grade from Easton. I'm here to tell you all about it. The 6.5 uses a proprietary system called the AccuCarbon Uniform Spine Process. AccuCarbon is a continuous fed, single die manufacturing process that results in the most reliable tolerances and eliminates the need for spine alignment and weight sorting. Easton's AccuCarbon production line produces the most consistent spine and weight from dozen to dozen and lot to lot, year in and year out. This benefits the bow hunter with a truer flight and pinpoint accuracy in the field. A couple things I should also note on these arrows is that they include inserts that are made using a 4 times larger shoulder that adds strength and boosts valuable FOC. The 6.5 also includes microlight nocks that are designed to move the throat of the nock back closer to the back of the arrow shaft. This makes the release more forgiving and further optimizes accuracy of the shot. These nocks are 38% lighter to increase arrow velocity and add front of center weight forwarding to improve arrow flight. Easton 6.5s also come with standard bully vein fletchings These are stiffer for superior control and quiet arrow flight. The arrows come 6 in a box and come 32 inches stock length only. So there you have it. When it comes to Easton, this might be the best arrow they make, especially for straightness and accuracy. Check them out at eastonarchery.com.
See right here.
So I have shot a lot of broadheads over the years. I really like the style of these severs. This is a lock and pivot design that they have patented. And what happens here is those blades lock open, but when they hit something, they pivot. So what happens, if you can just see that swimming action, when that broadhead hits a bone, it's going to go right around the bone. And I've actually seen this, we've seen it on TV when we've shot deer and slowed it down. You see that arrow just, it snakes right through the deer. In other cases, when broadheads that don't do that, it's a huge parachute. Boom, you hit and it's immediately stopping all that energy. And what you see with mechanical broadheads, when mechanical broadheads first came out over 30 years ago, I did a huge test on them, and my biggest problem with them is you saw lots of massive trauma in deer. So when you skin the deer out, you'd just see like just massive clotting. You do not want that with a broadhead. A broadhead is supposed to hemorrhage, cut sharply, and this helps get through that deer and cut very, very easily and quickly. Now I understand that broadhead choice is very personal. There's not a broadhead for every single person. One thing that you want to look for though is a broadhead that cuts. It has to be razor sharp. A broadhead needs to kill the deer via hemorrhaging, not via trauma. That is for a bullet. Pick the broadhead that works for you and get out there and put some venison in your freezer.